Corsair XENEON FLEX 45V QHD-40. This monitor bends more than my will on a Monday morning, letting you curve that massive 45-inch display to taste. Colors pop and games fly thanks to its 240Hz refresh rate. But that flex mechanism will have you feeling like you're prepping spaceship controls rather than straightening your screen. Unless you're desperate for sci-fi desk energy and deep immersion, the price will make your wallet flex, then snap. 7 out of 10. Samsung Odyssey Neo G9. This beast is so wide, you'll feel like you accidentally opened a panoramic photo of your life. But with a 1350mm stretch, it honestly wraps your whole setup like a digital burrito. Blinding brightness and dazzling mini LEDs make every game glimmer, while its curved frame practically demands a dedicated room and a support group for neck exercises. All that ultra-wide luxury costs as much as a getaway trip. So unless you want your bank account to experience an Odyssey, proceed with caution. 8 out of 10. LG 34GP83AB. LG plays it cool with this 34-inch champ, serving crisp colors, juicy 160Hz action, and surprisingly sharp details that kick regular widescreens back to the 90s. The curved screen may be a bit subtle, but setup is instant, and you get just enough ultra-wide wow without requiring a seatbelt or additional insurance. It nails the sweet spot for gamers and multitaskers. Just wish its speakers could keep up. But hey, that's what headphones are for. 8 out of 10. Dell S3422DVG. This curved, super wide display makes even the spreadsheets feel epic. With popping colors, deep blacks, and just enough curve to keep your neck from feeling like you watch tennis all day. The refresh rate at 144Hz gives your games buttery smooth motion that's so good you might forget to blink, but those viewing angles will punish you if you wander off center. For the price, it's a solid value for gaming and work, but don't expect professional-grade color accuracy if you moonlight as a Photoshop wizard. 7 out of 10. Dell Alienware AW425WM. Alienware ditched fancy lighting effects and went for pure gaming muscle, with maximum refresh rates up to 180Hz and colors that impress without an OLED price tag. It's bright, it's bold, and the curved screen makes multitasking feel like the future, but the paltry port situation and lack of true OLED do hold it back from ultra-elite status. If you want big specs at mid-range cost and do not need every cutting-edge feature, call this one the no-regrets zone. 8 out of 10. Samsung Odyssey OLED G85 SBS34BG85. This monitor's name is a mouthful, but the screen is a feast. With a 175Hz refresh rate, near infinite contrast, and vibrant colors thanks to QD-OLED, the picture feels luxurious whether you are gaming or binge-watching in the dark. The HDR pops, the blacks are inky, and it's stylish too, though do not expect blinding brightness in a sun-filled room, and keep one eye on that burn-in warranty. It's a premium treat for gamers who want pure visual magic and are not shy about the price. 9 out of 10. Dell Alienware AW3423 Dell. Jump into gaming hyperspace with this monitor's ultra-responsive QD-OLED panel, which spits out inky blacks, wild color, and sharp motion so fast your reflexes will feel slow in comparison. While its 34-inch display dazzles in the dark, it gets a little washed out in sunlight and, like your favorite superhero shirt, can be prone to noticeable burn-in if you leave too many static elements hanging around. Still, for pure gaming joy and vivid eye candy, you are looking at one seriously addictive gaming spaceship. 8 out of 10. Dell U4U25 Cube. Meet the productivity monolith. This 40-inch beast gobbles up your desk and transforms every multitasking session into a pixel-packed playground, delivering crisp, color-accurate visuals and every port you'll ever need. The 5120 by 2160 pixel IPS black panel shows off deep contrast and smooth 120Hz motion. But it is so massive and expensive that everyone in your Zoom call will know you mean business, possibly too much business for most mere mortals. Basically, if you want a monitor that does everything except make your coffee, you have just found it, assuming your wallet forgives you. 7 out of 10. Samsung Odyssey OLED G9 SC. This 49-inch behemoth wraps around your face like virtual reality on steroids, serving up absurdly smooth gaming at 240Hz and colors so rich, your eyeballs will feel pampered, even if the OLED brightness sometimes lets off a humble sigh. With Tizen smart features and game streaming baked in, this monitor lets you procrastinate in style. Though beware, the price is as supersized as the display, and that extra-wide cinema screen takes up more real estate than an actual apartment in some cities. For epic gaming, wild immersion, and streaming marathons that ignore daylight, this is monitor royalty with a slight power trip. 9 out of 10. LG 34GS95 QEB. This sleek beast rolls out an 800mm curve and pure OLED magic that makes blacks deeper than my motivation on a Monday morning. Text can look a bit fuzzy thanks to LG's panel choice, so if you are planning a novel-length email, maybe take a pass on this one. For games and movies, though, it's a visual treat that maxes out colors, contrast, and refresh rate, but I wish it handled text as sharply as your keyboard does insults. 7 out of 10. MSI MPG 341C CQPX QD-OLED. Here's a monitor that took one look at brilliant gaming and doubled down with endless colors, blinding brightness, and a 240Hz refresh rate that makes every headshot feel like slow motion. It even throws in a 3-year burn-in warranty and USB-C charging if your laptop needs to phone home mid-game. Fair warning, glossy reflections turn it into a funhouse mirror at midday. For pure gaming glory and nerd cred, this MSI gets close to perfection, but minor text issues and risk of burn-in do leave a mark. 8 out of 10. LG 45GX9 5DAB. LG cranked the curve dial to full banana and jammed a 5120 by 2160 pixel OLED panel in this monster, so your games and spreadsheets look like Technicolor dreams. The price tag will hurt more than stepping on a Lego, and the desk space required could double as a dance floor, but the image quality and high dynamic range punch are seriously jaw-dropping. Unless your wallet is as curved as this display, this big screen king is a splurge for hardcore fans only. 7 out of 10. Dell Alienware AW3423DW. This ultra-wide marvel spins gaming into an OLED rave with jaw-dropping colors, deep blacks, and refresh rates faster than a caffeinated squirrel. But be warned, it tops out at 34 inches, so your desk won't need to go to therapy. The gaming experience is smoother than a jazz concert, but it's not exactly reinventing the wheel this year, and you'll spot the usual brightness quirks with HDR cranked up. Still, if you want buttery visuals and epic immersion without major surprises, this Alienware deserves a salute. 8 out of 10. LG 40W P95CW. The LG 40-inch curves around your soul like a productivity hug, rocking a glorious 5120 by 2160. Pixel playground with colors so accurate it will make your spreadsheets blush. Work is a dream with Thunderbolt 4, but gamers beware. The refresh rate is so modest it may cause actual yawning in first-person shooters, and at nearly $2,000, your wallet will feel every pixel. For color nerds and multitaskers, it's a daydream, but action seekers should swipe left. 6 out of 10. MSI MEG 342C QD-OLED. MSI's MEG slices into the ultra-wide scene like a hot knife through quantum butter, with a wickedly fast refresh rate, stunning colors, and black so deep you'll lose your mouse cursor in the darkness. It's built for gaming glory, punching HDR true black into the walls and melting input lag like it's ice cream in July. But at this price, you might have to auction off your graphics card. Burn-in worries linger, yet for pure gaming and cosmic visuals, this monitor flies closer to perfection than most. 9 out of 10. LG 49GR85DCB. This jumbo curved marvel cranks out more pixels than you have space in your living room, giving you a screen so wide you might lose your mouse. It dazzles with buttery-smooth 240Hz gaming, color accuracy you can actually trust, but the local dimming is about as local as a distant cousin at a family reunion. For multitasking maniacs and gaming giants, it's a treat, but for perfect blacks and HDMI ports galore, you might keep shopping. 7 out of 10. Asus ROG Swift OLED PG34W CDM. If you like color popping off the screen and blacks deeper than your coffee, this OLED legend will wrap your gaming around an 800 radius curve like a warm blanket. 240Hz means your reactions stay ahead of the competition, and the KVM plus USB power delivery is so fancy, you wonder if it also makes espresso. But beware, the price is a roller coaster, and small text can get weirdly fuzzy. Gamers seeking a true HDR punch will swoon, but your wallet might faint first. 9 out of 10. Dell U3425. This business-focused beauty shines for spreadsheets and multitasking, flaunting a USB hub that could charge a small army in Thunderbolt with enough power to roast marshmallows. Gaming feels more like gaming light, thanks to 120Hz and blurry motion in fast scenes, plus forget about HDR. It's as absent as a vacation day. Perfect for productivity pros and hybrid workers, but anyone wanting stellar games will be left sipping decaf. 6 out of 10. LG UltraGear 45GS96QBB. This 3500mm behemoth wraps around your vision like a technophile's cocoon, making you feel like you're in the cockpit of a very expensive spaceship. Gaming here is almost unfair, thanks to the dazzling motion clarity and ridiculous 144Hz refresh rate. But you may want to invest in a sturdier desk because this thing is seriously heavy. Connections are plentiful, and even the color accuracy makes designers swoon. But the wallet pain is real, so check your bank account before committing. 8 out of 10. Acer Predator X34. This monitor prowls onto your desk with its 3400mm curve, vibrant colors, and a refresh rate that says bring on the chaos. But its speakers are so weak they might as well be silent films. Ultra-wide multitasking feels like moving into a luxurious studio apartment, but beware of the occasional brightness uniformity grumble that might annoy pickier eyes. If you want a screen that makes games and spreadsheets equally epic, but do not care about sound, this is your beast. 7 out of 10. Samsung Odyssey G9 G91F. The Odyssey G9 stretches to 4,900 millimeters wide and makes ordinary monitors look like tiny postage stamps, throwing you into your favorite games like a virtual roller coaster ride. You get dazzling colors and eye-popping contrast, but cable management becomes an Olympic event, and you need a desk the size of a dinner table for this monster. For jaw-dropping immersion and showing off to friends, it is a screen dream, but your credit card might faint. 9 out of 10. Philips EVNIA 49 M2C8900. The Philips EVNIA 49 M2C8900 is as massive as your last lost sock under the bed, serving up QD-OLED goodness and a lightning-fast 240Hz refresh rate for buttery-smooth gaming. Colors pop harder than a bubble wrap factory. But beware, inconsistent color accuracy means your Photoshop dreams might get punched in the pixel. If you have the desk space and don't mind a few quirks, it's a solid pick, though I'm docking points for inconsistency. 7 out of 10. MSI MPG 491 CQP QD-OLED. The MSI MPG 491 CQP QD-OLED is all about eye candy and speed, flaunting a beautiful 49-inch curved screen that makes your games look juicy and your desk look crowded. Gaming is pure bliss thanks to killer response times and vivid colors, but if you actually have to work, prepare for iffy non-gaming visuals and constant paranoia about OLED burn-in. It's a wallet-friendly thrill ride for gamers, but everyday use leaves me wanting more. 8 out of 10. Asus ROG Swift OLED PG49 WCD. The Asus ROG Swift OLED PG49 WCD brings style and substance with a sweeping 49-inch display that wraps around your eyeballs, dazzling with premium build and near-perfect color accuracy. Gaming and multitasking feel premium, except its refresh rate is slower than its rivals, and the price tag may require a bank loan, making the luxury harder to justify unless you're chasing clout. It's undeniably glorious, but the fierce competition means I can't let it walk away with a perfect score. 8 out of 10. Asus VG34 VQL3A. If you want a 34-inch curved screen that can keep up with your reflexes, the VG34 VQL3A's 180Hz refresh rate and speedy response time make every game feel turbocharged. But the HDR is more meh than marvelous, and the VA panel's viewing angles will make your friends shuffle seats like musical chairs. At its budget price, it's versatile for gaming and work, though brightness could use a wake-up call. 6 out of 10. AOC AGON Pro AG346 UCD. The AGON Pro AG346 UCD throws down a seriously slick 34-inch QD-OLED panel with colors so rich you might try to lick the screen and blacks deeper than your unread email backlog. Gaming is ultra-smooth, but its stand is awkward, and HDR brightness falls flat compared to flashier models. Plus, this thing is heavier than your last existential crisis. It's a solid value for OLED, but a few quirks stop it from being the game night MVP. 7 out of 10. LG UltraGear 39GS95QE. The LG UltraGear 39GS95QE is a curved monster at 39 inches, hitting a blazing fast refresh rate for buttery gameplay, with OLED pixels giving every shadow and highlight an extra pop. Productivity folks might grumble about fuzzy text, and its wildly aggressive curve may leave you dizzy, unless you are all in on virtual immersion. It's incredible for gamers and ridiculous for movie lovers, but office warriors should run. 8 out of 10. Lenovo Legion Y34 Woozy 30. This 34-inch ultra-wide curved monitor is like a panoramic window to your digital life, blending sharp 3440 by 1440 resolution with a slick 144Hz refresh rate for buttery smooth visuals. It's got vibrant color and deep blacks that make your games and movies pop, though it leans a bit more toward gaming thrills than professional-grade color accuracy. If you want a solid, immersive experience without selling your soul, this monitor plays nicely at a reasonable price. 7 out of 10.